Hey everyone, today I am at Spartan Training Concepts once again. Today I'm taking their tactical medical course here with Ian and Josh. So we just got done with the course. I'm nice and sweaty and dirty and tired.
And shot.
And shot a couple times, got some paint in some places.
Needs medical attention.
Yeah. So in my experience, just knowing myself and knowing other people, people who are into the gunfighting realm or the tactical world, the thing that they train on the least is their medical training. I know myself, that's the thing I've had the least amount of training in. So that's kind of why I wanted to seek a course like this out. So what did you guys have in mind when you developed this course?
The first time that I got a medical class, I was blown away, and I really wanted to continue seeking that out, because it was a class that was similar to this one, and there was a little bit of a force-on-force component, but really there was an active shooter class that I took where there was a force-on-force class where there was so many bodies in the room, and I just thought, you know, even if I didn't have the medical kit that they provided me in the class, I mean, even if I had that, it's still not enough. And I thought, I need to figure out like how to do all this. I don't know what to do. And I mean, obviously most people know like, the blood, put pressure on it. But I really wanted to have a better understanding of it. So I sought out a lot of medical training in different places, and just started to take more and more classes and see what can I affect the most with what I have available to me as like a civilian, and what I can carry on my body. And so that was kind of motivated me to want to do a class of my own here in the Northwest, which there's not a whole lot that's offered up in this neck of the woods like what we're doing here. It's not like anything else.
Yeah.
Around here, at least.
Yeah. As far as myself, I guess, like most of us, I guess, in the gun community, I've spent so many years just doing the firearms training, like so many of us have. I never really thought about the medical side of it, really, until not too many years ago when I started training at Tactical Response. And that's one thing that they really beat into your head over there, is the need to be able to save lives as well as learning how to take them. I never really thought about that before that as much. You know, I just didn't put the two together. And that's what we're trying to do here at this school, is bring everything together. After going through some of the first courses there years ago when I first started training there, it really started to hit home with me. And then it became a passion of mine, to, like everything does once I get into it like that, is to learn more and more and more, and trying to bring that here to the West Coast. And once again, is in an as realistic a fashion as possible, is what we try to do with everything. So.
Yeah, well, and you know, kind of on that token, just like how a concealed handgun license course doesn't set you up for a gunfight, taking your Red Cross First Aid CPR AED course does not set you up for treating gunshot wounds or anything crazy like that. I mean, I'm a Red Cross instructor, and I can tell you the curriculum does not set you up for success if you're trying to deal with gunshot wounds or anything crazy like that. There's plenty of things that I experienced here for the first time. You know, every time I've done any sort of medical trauma stuff at all, it's in a nice controlled environment. No one's shooting at me. I can think clearly. There's no explosions going off, and this was a really good place to kind of get that kind of shock to my system of what a real scenario might be like, while still knowing that I'm going to go home at the end of the day, I guess, at least knowing that in the back of my head. What do you guys hope that people are able to take away from this class?
Well, you know, the bottom line is neither of us claim to be EMTs at all. You know, we both have some fairly extensive medical training as far as traumatic injuries and that type of stuff. But for the most part, we want people to be able to leave this class and be able to implement a security and immediate action plan, medical assessment, and treatment for traumatic injuries. So these things apply in any scenario, like we say before and after the class. This could happen, these safety protective things could happen in a vehicle accident on the way to this class or away from this class. They don't have to necessarily be gunshots or knife wounds or those types of things, the same type of injuries. But we need you to leave this class feeling confident, like the people leaving here today, that if they were engaged in an active shooting situation, a car accident, whatever the case may be, that they could perform immediate action medical treatment for traumatic injuries to themselves or someone else until EMTs arrive.
Yeah, I can tell you I've been carrying a firearm for 10 years, and I've never had to brandish it, never had to shoot anyone in the civilian world. And I've used my medical kit at least 3 times, twice in the same day. So to me, that just made so much more sense to want to seek out this training and make sure that I knew what I was doing, and to inoculate myself to the adrenaline rush of it all. Because if you're calm walking into a situation, then you will, when you exude calmness, other people pick up on that.
Yeah.
And so that's important, that to me, to be able to show up to a car accident and walk up to somebody and just be like, okay, I'm going to take care of this person. Hey, I need your help. Just come over here and put these gloves on. I love gloves because it makes people stop and think about doing that. And while they're doing that, you can calm them down and get them to help you in some way.
Yeah. I know, speaking from my own experience, I was a volunteer firefighter for 3.5 years. The first medical scene I was on, the way I responded was very different from the last medical scene I was on. My first time, I was so overwhelmed with everything that was going on that I was pretty much useless. Whereas over time, I got acclimated to that. I understood what was going on. I knew what I had to do. So for me, I know this isn't my final step in my medical training. I know this is something that I definitely want to take this course multiple times to really get this stuff ingrained, so that if I do find myself in a real world scenario, I know exactly what to do. My body can go on autopilot and I can get the job done as quickly and as effectively as possible, hopefully.
That's one important key thing that Ian just mentioned there, and it's one thing that one of our instructors, and that also teaches classes here, pictured behind us actually, John Hurst from Tier Group. One thing that always stuck with me that he says in his classes is calm breeds calm. And the first time he said that to me, it just really set in, and I really think about that, especially in these type of classes. Like Ian had mentioned, we're in these classes throughout the day, we're teaching everything that we want you to learn. At the end of the day, we do a final exercise where we want you to implement those things in a stress-filled environment. We're trying to overwhelm all of your senses, but in the end, calm breeds calm. And that's what's going to prevail in there.
Yeah, and if you have no experience, then the place to fail is in a training environment. Mm-hmm. That's where you want to fail. Yeah. Because then at the end of the day, you get to go home and kiss your kids goodnight and all that, and you don't have to. The first time you're putting on a tourniquet doesn't have to be in an emergency situation.
Yeah. So what kind of stuff should people bring, or what kind of mindset should they be in when they come to a class like this?
An open mind.
Yeah, for sure.
Open mind and an inquisitive mind.
Yeah, really. A lot of the things we do here, you've done a few classes here now with us, and you'll see that a lot of the things we do here are not by the book like you would do in so many places. Mm-hmm. We do a lot of things that would be called, I guess, outside of the box. But to us, it's not. That's the way things should be done. So you do have to come here with an open mind, for sure. Take away what works for you when you leave here. There's many ways to do these things. This is our way. Hopefully you can pull bits and pieces out of it when you leave here, if you come with an open mind as far as what can work for you and what won't. As far as gear, if you have medical kits, IFACs, trauma kits, bring what you have, because we like to see what you have. And usually by the end of it, we haven't had anybody that hasn't changed up their kit, really. So
yeah, I'm definitely going to change mine.
Usually people always change up their kits afterwards, and hopefully that system works for them, what we like to run. But bring what you have, because it's good to work with what you have and what you carry. And even if you do end up changing it up, it's good to work with what you have. And then also we can give some of our individual advice on kind of your kits and things like that. Anything else as far as what to bring with them, as far as gear and stuff that's not on the list, I guess? Or
if you have a mask or something that you prefer to bring, bring that. Paintball type mask. But America needs you guys to be trained, and you need to get out there and get it, whether it's from us or someone else. Find a reputable trainer and go get it. Get after it.
The one thing I would like to just stress, as far as this class goes, and I think we need to really make sure we get this point across to people, is when I've explained this class to people, Usually the feedback is, well, I've had CPR training, I've had first aid training. This is something entirely different. This is entirely different than that. Hopefully you come here with that already. Or after this class, you leave and you get that. And that's very readily available in many places. But this is an entirely different class.
We've had EMTs come here and take away stuff from it. It's a class that anybody can probably get something from. So it's definitely worth your time to check it out, I think.
Yeah. You know, like you guys were saying, you're going to experience failures. I think every course I've taken with Spartan Training Concepts, I've experienced my failure point and I've experienced my breaking point. And this is the environment where I want to experience that and know, you know, where I'm at and hopefully push through those boundaries and gain those skills. So I'm glad that you guys are doing this. I highly recommend that you guys check out Spartan Training Concepts. I'll have the links below. Even if you're not even in the local area, there are places out there to get some training and get yourself schooled up. People are out there training to kill you right now, so you might as well start picking up the pace and be ready for when that fight happens.
Some kid in Afghanistan right now learning how to rack an AK.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's a lot of the discussion we've had lately. You know, a lot of people are hesitant to come to classes like this because they're not really sure what they're going to experience, and they don't want to look bad in the class. Mm-hmm. You know, they don't want to make themselves look bad, and I understand that. You know,
we won't laugh at you.
Like. But the bottom line is this. All of our classes are set up for you to have failures and successes. If they weren't that way, we wouldn't be doing our job. You know, we train all over the place ourselves, and if we weren't experiencing failures in the classes we were taking, then we're at the wrong class. We're wasting money. You know, that's part of doing it. I know it's hard to step outside of your comfort zone and do these type of things, but that's the only way you grow as a person, as an individual, as someone that carries a firearm, for sure.
Yeah, so again, links will be below. As always though, I hope you're able to get something out of this video, and I really appreciate you watching. Thanks guys.
Thank you.